Welcome to the channel, Vonnie EC, another trucker. Salute to all the subscribers. Are foreign drivers making the trucking industry worse? That's been a topic of discussion for a while. Now, I got a disclaimer. I don't got nothing against immigrants or people who've come to this country and got into this trucking industry, or however you're doing it, to make a better way for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That, actually did the right thing. So this ain't nothing against, people who wasn't born in this country. But the influx of foreign drivers have been a topic of discussion for a while. And it was crazy, man. I was looking at a live video yesterday with KB the trucker. He was touching on this. Shout out to him. And he was touching on a lot of these drivers not being able to speak English and how that should be regulated. You know what I mean? So in a nutshell, that's kind of like what he was talking about. And then when after I watched that later on at night, I went to sleep. Then when I woke up this morning, I seen Asia Mai had a story on his channel with a guy, with a trucker that was drunk and caused a crash and killed several people. And the picture that he had of the guy in the thumbnail, this guy was definitely of Eastern African descent. So yeah, after that, you know what I'm saying, I definitely had to add my 2 cents, because I definitely got some face-to-face experience with incompetency of what drivers should know and should be able to do if you're holding a CDL in this country. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I remember when I first started. Matter of fact, it was my very first load working with Swift. And I had to go to a shipper in Carroll Stream, Illinois. And when I got to the shipper, I'm trying to get situated so I can, park where I need to park at. But it was another driver there, and he was standing outside his truck trying to get somebody to help him park his truck, because he didn't know how to park his truck. And this guy was of Eastern African descent. I don't know if he was from Somalia or Eritrea, you know what I'm saying, or one of them countries, but he was definitely East African. And, he came, while I was trying to park, he came up to me, to my truck, to ask me if I can help him park his truck. So, this is my very first load straight out of training by myself. So really, I don't know shit, you know what I mean? So me, being the good Samaritan that I can be at times, I gets out the truck and actually goes in his truck, because I didn't know no better, goes in his truck and helps him park his truck. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing, he was driving an automatic, so I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, man, with a stick at, how you do this shit? But I figured it out and helped the man park his truck. But, at the time, I didn't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, another trucker needed help, because I'm already knowing in my head, wherever I get ready to park, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be somebody who's going to have to help me. So I didn't mind helping them, you know what I mean? But it's a difference between an experienced driver seeing somebody that's inexperienced trying to park, and that experienced driver go up to that unexperienced driver and try to help them park, while the rookie or the least experienced driver is actually physically driving the truck themselves, learning, as opposed to a driver just hopping out the truck, throwing their hands up, asking for somebody else to hop in their truck and park their truck. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I didn't think much about it, but now looking back, just, you know what I'm saying, with the time I've been in this industry, and with what I understand, and growing and developing an opinion about shit and a perspective about shit, that should not be. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody was to come to me and ask me to park their truck today, I wouldn't help them. You shouldn't be out here if you can't park a truck. You shouldn't be out here if you can't at least sit in the truck and let an experienced driver help you park your own truck so you can get the feel for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. You know, as far as like with drivers not knowing how to speak English, I mean, I always knew that it was a lot of drivers out here that did not, you know, speak English. I knew that, you know, you got drivers from out of Mexico. I don't know exactly how it goes, so don't quote me on it. But, you know, I know they got drivers that come back and forth over the border. They get some type of pass. I don't know exactly what this shit is called. But you do got drivers that, you know, come from Mexico. They drive over the border. They picking up shit. Especially in Laredo, they picking up shit from Laredo, taking it back, whatever. But you do got. I always knew you had drivers, you know, that come from Mexico, and a lot of these drivers don't speak no English. Like, I knew about that, you know what I'm saying? But I honestly didn't. I always assumed that a lot of these foreign drivers, you know, spoke English. Now, I know a lot of African, you know what I'm saying, a lot of East African drivers or African drivers, I know they know how to speak English as far as I knew. But a couple weeks ago, man, I'm at this truck stop in Arkansas, so, you know, a little while before I'm getting ready to leave, before it's time for me to, you know, roll out when my clock is up, you know, I gets out the truck and, you know, starts to give me a little workout in. You know, I got a couple dumbbells with me outside. And this guy next to me, he see me working out. So he gets out the truck, you know what I mean? He not talking, you know, I'm talking to him, but he not saying nothing back. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like just body language communication. And, you know, he giving the body language like, yeah, he want to work out. You know, he seen me working out, so he got out his truck, you know, he started jogging in place. He pointing at the weights. I'm like, yeah, giving him the thumbs up. And as I'm talking to him, you know what I'm saying, I realized that, okay, this guy don't know how to speak no English. Because he ain't responding. He just smiling. You know what I'm saying? He just, but I'm doing like this, okay? You know what I'm saying? But in the moment, it was cool because, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't talk to each other, but we was working out together. You know what I'm saying? So he'll hit the weights. I come back around, hit the weights, do some burpees. He'll come back around, he'll do the same thing. And he got so into it, he started running around the parking lot or the truck stop. So on that note, in that interaction, that was cool, but it was bizarre that this man didn't even know how to speak English. And his descent, he definitely was Indian, not Native American, but, you know, from, I don't know if India is in Southeast Asia, but, you know, India. The country of India. He definitely was from India, or he looked like it because he was dark. You know what I'm saying? He was my complexion, or darker, but you can tell by the geno or the phenotype, whatever you want to call it, that he wasn't a black man. He wasn't African American or African. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, this man didn't speak no English. He didn't say a word. I knew he didn't speak no English, so that's a problem. That's a problem. And, you know, see, I haven't been in this industry. I've been in this industry 8 years, so I haven't been in this industry that long to be able to remember the times when the influx of foreign drivers started. When I came in 2017, foreign drivers, they was already here, you know, and yeah, they was already here, you know, and just the word through the industry, you know, American truck drivers, or just truck drivers in general, you know, they always referred to a lot of these foreign drivers as, you know, anytime anybody make a mention about people wearing flip-flops, you know, they was referring to a lot of these foreign drivers. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are they making this shit worse? It's different factors, but the influx of drivers coming into this country, you know, especially coming in, going through the process of getting their CDL and not having to go through the full process of learning how to drive a commercial vehicle and going through these programs of being able to get their CDL through a shortcut route, yes, I think that's fucked up. And I think that's a problem. It's a serious problem. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it ain't no bad American drivers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and say that every single foreign driver is a horrible driver, but it is a lot. It's a lot of them out here. You know what I'm saying? I've witnessed the way some of these dudes drive. They do drive reckless, man. They play games on the road. You know what I'm saying? I know I've noticed this with foreign drivers. You know what I'm saying? They do little shit like I just seen plenty of them. They do this shit all the time. Like, okay, I'll be driving at 65 miles per hour, especially if I'm loaded. So you have these drivers, man, they'll rush to get in front of you and then start going slow. You know what I'm saying? Not leaving no wiggle room, forcing me to have to go slower to create room. So it's like, man, if I'm catching up to you, man, that means that you going too slow. You did all this speeding up to get in front of me to go slow. You know, you supposed to be speeding up in front of me to be able to keep going further and keep creating distance between us. But you want to get in front of me and go slow. So when you notice that and then you try to get in front of them, then they want to try to speed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I ain't the only person that noticed this shit. What is it? Yeah, so I know I'm not the only person that noticed this shit, man. Just, you know, a lot of reckless driving, raggedy trucks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've been seeing this shit through the years. But like I said, man, I didn't really recognize the problem that time that I just told you that I had a guy ask me to get in his truck and help him park his truck. It didn't hit me then because I'm a rookie myself. You know what I'm saying? But now 8 years in the game and I'm looking back and I'm thinking about it like, nah, fam, that's a no. We can't have that. Like, why is it that everybody else have to go through the full 9 yards to be able to be qualified to drive a commercial vehicle, but you know, these people that's, you know what I'm saying, not natural citizens is able to just come into this industry with the shortcut route? I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. It's dangerous, and it's messing up the money. It's messing up the money for a lot of people. You know, as far as like the topic of bad rates. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't complain about low rates. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is a factor. You know, because you got these people that's coming in from these countries. You know, the American dollar is worth, you know, most of these places that these people coming from, man, yeah, the American dollar is worth more than the currency of their country. So their mentality is probably is different from ours. You know what I'm saying? Their mentality is, okay, well, our mentality, we know what we should be getting paid. You know what I'm saying? But their mentality is, our money is worth more than the currency that they used to. So, you know, if a person is an owner operator or some shit like that, they dealing with brokers or whatnot, they got their own truck, they looking at the money different. Because the American dollar, it goes further in a lot of these other countries. So to them, what Americans might feel are low rates, a lot of these people from these countries, they not looking at it like that. So they gonna take anything and run. You know what I'm saying? A person, they could just be taking low rates. You know what I'm saying? Living the modest lifestyle, stacking that bread up, and sending that bread back to their family, back wherever they from. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter about what the fuck we feel as Americans and what we know we worth. They looking at shit a total different way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of these, and really is smart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't knock that. You know what I'm saying? Coming here getting on, stacking the bread up, sending the money back home. I don't knock that. And it's very beneficial to them and their families back home because they getting that American dollar, and that American dollar, you know, that American dollar stretches out straight up. So, you know, a person can come out here to America if they got a family, they got a couple kids, a wife, they come out here, you know, the family is down with them. You know, because here in America, a lot of men that have families that live in this same country, they be in this trucking shit, you know, for so long and putting in so much work over the road that, you know, you hear a lot of these stories about families breaking up, you know, because the woman couldn't hold it down. You know what I'm saying? So they tear the household up, and now this motherfucker, he left with nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these people that come from these other countries, especially men, they families be down with the program because they know the bigger picture. A man can come here, a man can come from Mexico. You know, I'm familiar with Brazil. I know in Brazil, I don't know what the currency is now, but I know it's usually like 5 to 1. You know what I'm saying? It take 5 of their dollars to equal 1 of our dollars. So let's just say if somebody was a foreigner that came from Brazil and they working here, man, it'd be so easy for them to take care of their family back home. And the family, they gonna be all with it. They're gonna be all with it. There are more foreigners that can come to America and lead and you know what I'm saying, have their families back home, and their family's gonna be down with the program. They're gonna benefit, they're gonna grow their family, they're gonna be able to eat, and their family's gonna stick together way more than American families would, being in this industry. So yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But they do have to do something to where something got to be done to where they start regulating this shit more, because you know what I'm saying? No, I don't understand how a person can have a CDL. I don't understand how a person can be driving a commercial vehicle and not be able to speak English, dog. I don't understand that. You need to be able to read English. You need to be able to speak English. That's dangerous. And they just letting these people come in. So who gonna regulate it? Because the trucking industry not gonna regulate it. You know what I'm saying? Who is talking about this in the trucking industry? Drivers, American drivers, or you know, American drivers. Whether you born here, whether you came here from another country and you became a legit American citizen, American drivers are complaining about this, but nobody else really gives a fuck. The brokers, the companies, they are benefiting from cheap labor. So who gonna regulate this? The government? I don't know, man. You know, it's been said, and I can understand that a lot of times, man, when the government get involved in regulating shit, that the people should be able to regulate themselves. And in this case, meaning like the states should be able to regulate this shit. When the government get involved, man, shit gets worse. It's like they overstep their boundaries, in a sense. They make shit a whole lot worse. Just like government getting involved with regulations with the trucking, you know what I'm saying? And we know how a lot of us feel about these after treatment systems. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who've been in this industry way before me, that's another factor that they feel has made trucking go to shit, the quality of these modern trucks, because of the after treatment systems. But where did that come from? Influence from the government. So do we really want the government to regulate shit in trucking? I mean, I don't know. The administration we got now, whatever decisions they decide to make, you know, the Trump administration, whoever is involved in that, I do trust that more fair regulations would be passed, or whatever they're gonna do. I do feel that. You know what I'm saying? I would never expect that with no other or previous administration. You know what I'm saying? Because we know Trump about that money. But I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I seen some shit as well. You know, they supposedly having these talks of deregulations, but ain't nothing's been set in stone about, okay, what is being deregulated. It's like it's real vague and ambiguous as far as what's being regulated. You know, what is being regulated? The guy on the little commercial or the presentation, you know what I'm saying? He said something about 31 clauses or 31 bullet points of things, you know, that's supposed to be deregulated. I don't know what that is. It ain't been said, so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Some people think that, I just seen some people say that we ain't got to use death no more. I don't, is that set in stone? I don't know if it's set in stone, so I'm just sitting back and just watching and seeing what's going on. But yeah, as a matter of fact, Arkansas, from what I've seen, Arkansas is cracking down on you know, foreign drivers being able to be qualified to meet the requirements that they should be able to meet, you know, holding CDLs in this country. So Arkansas, I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I know they're cracking down on foreign drivers. You know, this should really be something that the state should be able to come together and handle. But then it's, you know what I'm saying? It's tricky because you got a lot of these states right now, these blue states especially, they're in defense of these foreign drivers. They're in defense of illegal immigrants. So, you know what I'm saying? How do we regulate this shit? Huh. I don't know. That's just my little 2 cents on it. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm sitting back just like y'all. I'm watching it all. So, yeah. I'm out of here, man. Gotta get ready to hit the road. Vonnie EC, another trucker. Y'all be safe. Keep it trucking.